Hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Look, first of all, woke up this morning, fantastic dream. I had a dream that Bayern won the Champions League, and it was superb. I think, was it Odriozola that was lifting it? That killed the dream for me. I just wanted to kill myself. I just wanted to jump and die in that dream when he started lifting the Champions League, because he's useless. Seriously though, Cuisance, waking up as well, finding out this guy might just be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Bayern might have a little Zlatan here. Freaking arrogant, man. God, he's so confident. I love it. That's exactly how I am. So he was asked a few questions. They asked him, you know what, man, are you ready to establish yourself here at Bayern next season? They asked him, are you ready to play maybe 10 games? He was like, nah, I'm ready to play every game. I'm ready to get ahead of Kimmich, Goretzka, and Thiago. I'm ready to go. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy seems confident. And he seems like the type of guy to put his head down and work hard. And I like that. I like that about a player. And when we signed him last summer from Gladbach, first of all, people were like, oh my God, Bayern took a rival's big player. Shut up. Oh my God. Bayern destroying rivals. No, this guy was sold by Gladbach. They didn't want him. They didn't give him play time. They barely liked him, okay? We took a player that they didn't like, all right? We gave him 15 million. That's why his value is 15 million right there, all right? That's what happened last summer. So shut up, okay? Take a controller, smack your head with it, because you play too much FIFA anyways. Seriously, man, I think Cuisance can definitely fill in Thiago's boots, and I think he actually plays very similarly to Thiago. If you look at how he passes the ball, dribbles in the midfield, taking opponents on when the pressure's coming, and also just the defensive side of his game. I think if he could improve a few things in his defensive just presence on the pitch, I think that would definitely help. And he says, guess what? He sits next to Thiago to learn from him. He chose to sit next to Thiago in the dressing. See, this is the type of player I like. The mentality to think like that. I think success is your duty, your responsibility, and your obligation. And there's no shortage of success. That's why I wrote it right there on my board. Every morning, I don't repeat it to myself. That's weird. I just read it when I feel like something is threatening my success. There's no one on this earth that can get successful for me. There's no one that can give me the success I want. So that's why I write it. And I think this guy has the exact same mindset. That's what a lot of players don't have. A lot of players think things have to go a certain way for them to be successful. No, things don't always have to go the way you want them to. You can go out somewhere on loan and prove yourself. You don't even have to be successful at Bayern. Some players think, if I'm not successful at Bayern, I'll never be successful in my career. And that's a dead mindset to have. And this guy looks like he has the mentality to play at Bayern. And it's very important. He has the growth mindset, man. I absolutely love that. Reading all these self-help books, he has a lot of things that he's saying that I'm like, yeah, Mikel, go on, man. Say it. So let's compare him with Thiago using football slices. So, right, this just doesn't look that much, impressive, but because of the fact that he hasn't played that many games with Gladbach or Bayern in the Bundesliga, that's where we're comparing it. He, very good, completes 4 dribbles per game, right? And if you look at this game versus, who was it we played? Freiburg, I think he started in. He was absolutely superb in that game. Wolfsburg. That was the second to the last game of the season before we had the Pokal. So he was good, very, very good in this game. He scored that wonderful goal, that absolutely orgasmatic goal. And I think Cuisance, man, can definitely prove himself. I think he has the ability to do it. And he got a 9.0, just 0.1 off Muller for being man of the match. But I can remember in that game, he was all over the place, quintessential to that win. 5 dribbles completed, 82% pass accuracy, 1 shot, 1 goal, 2 tackles completed, 5 corners. Did he take 5 corners or concede 5 corners? I'm not exactly sure what that means. Dispossessed 1 time. Absolutely amazing. I don't know why it's comparing him with Castillo's, but that's what I mean, man. What a player we have right here. But if you compare him with Thiago, he makes 1.65 interceptions per game. He makes 1.65 tackles per game. I think he'll make more, or just more will be added as he gets more minutes, because a lot of the times he isn't playing a full 90 minutes, and these are adjusted per 90, right? So that's the most important thing. If you look at, he's only played 586 minutes in the Bundesliga. since 2018. So that's a very deceptive thing to look at. Some of these stats might be lower when he actually starts playing week in, week out, but a lot of these might be more realistic. I think, why isn't it zooming in? You ever love that when it's just not zooming in at all? Passes into the final third, 4. Progressive distance, exactly, this is what I meant. You can't really look at these types of stats, progressive distance, because he's not actually playing enough games to really start looking at that. Tackled past or dribbled past, 22%, actually less than Thiago. But Thiago's Thiago, 3 tackles per game. Yeah, he's Thiago, isn't he? Times dispossessed once. He's dispossessed twice. And look, he's going to learn, right? Stats aren't everything, but they do help us identify what kind of a player he can be. He can be that quintessential midfielder. He can definitely be that midfielder to get in the face of the opposition. Seeing a lot of the highlights, okay? Sometimes you have to watch highlights to figure out what a player can and cannot do. If you watch Van Dijk highlights, you'd be like, wow, he's a fantastic center back. Sometimes you'd be like, oh my God, best of all time. But then if you look at the stats, it says he's terrible at tackling, but that's not how the game should work. But Cuisance, it's different for midfielders and defenders. Center backs, if a center back is making 50 tackles per game, I have a problem with that, because that's telling me that they're getting in too many situations where they're having to make a tackle, which is meaning to me that they're making a lot of mistakes. Meaning to me. That's not a phrase I should be saying. Meaning to me. Oh my God, that meaning to me. That sounds so stupid. But seriously, if a center back's doing that, that's a mistake for me. But if a fullback is making a lot of tackles, it shows me that they're proactive in how they play the game and they're progressive. For example, if you look at Alphonso Davies and Andy Robertson, Robertson makes like 1 point something tackles per game. But if you look at how they play, you'd be like, wow, Davies is better, because when he tackles, he gets the ball and he moves forward. He gets forward. I'd rather Davies lose the ball dribbling 3 players in the final third than Robertson just whacking a crossing that's going to lose the ball anyways. Turnover possession. So that's where we're at in terms of stats. But I can tell this guy can't do that. He has the dribbling ability. They call him Cuisance for a reason. He has the ability to turn on pressure. I like that. That's what Thiago does so well. That little body thing. Of course he's not Thiago, but we can hope he can develop that aspect of his game, because Thiago has been doing it so well for us, where we're getting pressed and then Thiago just does a little turn and then he's off 3 players. So something that not many players in the world can do, beating that press so easily. We don't have any player that's starting for us right now in the midfield that can do that. Kimmich is more of a progressive, slow builder of the ball. Not like he doesn't turn on pressure, but I don't see Kimmich just do a little fake and then turn. No, Kimmich is more of a turn his head, turn to play, move the ball forward. Goretzka's more of a... Goretzka actually has some sauce to him. He dribbles very nicely, very efficiently, but he's more of a get the ball quickly away from him. Not like he hates the ball, but I feel like he likes the off-the-ball movement aspect of the game more, which explains why he has so many ball recoveries and all these things, because he prefers, instead of just taking the ball and having so many touches, he likes having maybe 1-3 touches and the ball's off, he moves for somewhere else. And that's something that we have in our squad, Kimmich and Goretzka. Well, not Kimmich, because Kimmich likes being on the ball. But Cuisance is different. Cuisance and Thiago, they want to be on the ball right next to Neuer. You can tell they have the attitude to do it. Thiago, sometimes I'm like, bro, just pass the ball. Just clear, don't. But he's just dribbling on his own box. And sometimes it's risky. But when it works, we're off to a counterattack because the opposition committed so many players to press. And that's the most important thing. Cuisance as well has this passing range. Bro, the way he wraps the ball with his left foot. I don't think many players in world football can do that. And a lot of people are saying Cuisance is an attacking midfielder. No, he's not. He wants to be in that deep-lying playmaker position. He wants to be at the corporate of what Bayern do. So I don't think he's going to be a defensive midfielder for us. There's just no way you can think that. I mean, of course, he could probably play there and fill in at attacking midfielder. But that's the same as playing Goretzka there. It's just so useless. You're basically just playing a player there just because you don't have anyone else. And I don't think we should be doing that. I think he should be playing in that CDM role or just that double pivot. Kimmich can be the more defensive one. He can be the more offensive one. And what I love about him is when he passes the ball, he moves. So many midfielders nowadays, especially the defensive midfielders like your Kantes, when they pass the ball, they just stand there. Kimmich does the same thing. When he passes the ball, he moves forward. And sometimes you might be like, well, that's risky because you want to protect your back four. No, what's more risky is you pass the ball and the player you're passing to now has an extra player on him because you're not anywhere close to him to receive the ball again. That's what I love about Thiago and Kimmich and that dynamic, and even Goretzka. They pass the ball and then they move. They can't just stand there. I love it when Kimmich moves. Sometimes Kimmich is dropping in between our center backs and then he's scoring a goal on the edge of the opposition box. That's what I like. Did you see that assist that Kimmich had for that one goal, the header? That was in the box of the opposition. Before that movement, he was at our back line building up. But when he moves forward, that's why he covers so much ground, because he isn't just standing in one place. I hate static players. I can't stand it when a player is just so static, like your Casemiros. Casemiro just stands there, defends. I don't like that. That's not the type of CDM I like seeing. I like seeing mobile players. I like seeing a player take the ball, pass it, and then move. Move! That's what I do in my life, how I play on the pitch. I like to take the ball and move. And Cuisance can do that. He can move with the ball and without it. And I like that. Open up yourself. Make sure you're in the space. Constantly checking your shoulders to make sure you're in the correct position to receive the ball on the turn or these various things. And I think that's how Bayern play. The way Hansi Flick has it set up. We move the ball in between the lines so efficiently. So the most important thing for me is to definitely have a player like Cuisance that can do that and complement us. Because we don't have that many players. Well, we do. All our players should be able to do that. We're not Dortmund, where we have Emre Can just standing in front of our defense, folded, and then he's just, nah. This isn't Dortmund. Axel Witsel just passing the ball and then standing there and admiring the pass. When Kimmich passes, he's moving forward with the ball. I don't care. If you great pass, sometimes you just have a great pass that you want to look at. But move, man. Move. Move. I'm actually surprised. So I think this is crazy. Shot creating actions, 3.84 per 90. Opposition, or I don't know, OP shot creating action. Okay, I don't know what that means. But look, he has more than Thiago. Is that a good thing? Can someone explain that to me? Because I was actually looking at it very confused. He does need to increase his dribble success rate, but that's probably because he's trying to take on more players than Thiago. Thiago completes a lot of dribbles. Passing accuracy, I think Cuisance is trying more riskier passes. Sometimes you have to look at these stats in context. Cuisance is playing for Bayern too. He's going to be taking more risk. He won't be as composed. He won't have the same type of players around him. So he'll sometimes feel like I have to make a brilliant pass every time I get the ball. That might be it. Or he has to make a brilliant moment to prove himself. A lot of young players have deflated stats. If you look at Zirkzee's play, you're like, oh, he's a poacher. No, this guy actually has a very good first touch on him. He has very neat passing. If you watched old Zirkzee highlights and all these things in old games, he isn't really that much of a poacher, but because that's the only thing that he can do now effectively and have the confidence to do, that's score goals, it looks like he can only score goals. So look at everything in context. That's the most important thing. But Cuisance can definitely fill in Thiago's boots. But thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll try to make this a premiere so we're interactive while watching. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia san mia and peace.